Perfect. So now it's very difficult to give a presentation after the excellent and thought-provoking presentation by Professor Madani, but I'm going to give it a try. And the good news is I talk only for 5 minutes, so I think I can survive. So I'm going to use this talk to shortly discuss about, explain the new research initiative established at Hamburg University of Technology in collaboration with Max Planck Institute for Meteorology and United Nations University, called Climate Informed Engineering. So I'm going to just say a few words about the idea behind, the concept behind climate informed engineering. To be honest, the concept to me is not new. Climate informed engineering, over the course of history, humans have been always using climate knowledge, climate information to develop their businesses, to grow their community, to build infrastructure, to manage their food production. But what is new here is that we are living in a world that we're observing the birth of a new generation, new class of the climate models. Thanks to the efforts of scientists like Professor Bjorn Stevens, who is in the audience, that they are talking about a new class of climate models that are capable of simulating basically, describing basically how our planet may respond to the ongoing climate change with a very high spatial and temporal resolution. Bjorn is here, he can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're talking about the resolution of 1 kilometer resolution and the temporal resolution of like within few minutes. And to me, that provides an excellent opportunity for the engineers. To me, engineers must seize this moment and fully embrace this opportunity provided by this massive climate informatics to in their engineering products and services. So the idea basically is, so let's say they have this these sophisticated climate models with all this data and information, so that will be fed into this new emerging interdisciplinary field of climate informed engineering. And if I want to give an example, for example, imagine, suppose if I tell you 50 years from now, you will have significantly more, let's say, precipitation in Hamburg, or you will have much more frequent, let's say, heat waves in Hamburg, or sea level rise. So does this information affect the way you design, let's say, your buildings, the way you design your road, the way you manage Altersland, the apple orchard? Is it useful or not? And if it is useful, welcome on board. So you can be part of the climate informed engineering. And I believe this will have contribution to topics such as green transition, or developing novel materials and processes, or utilizing technology for sustainability. And of course, this will affect many processes, including the UN Sustainable the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And I actually listed a couple of them here, but if I wanted to pick up, I don't know, one of them, let's look into the reduced inequalities. So I believe a climate-informed engineer will be able to develop and construct more resilient products to basically protect human and their businesses in difficult times against the extreme climate event, let's say flooding, let's say sea level rise, and so on. And that will contribute to reducing the inequalities and to topics such as climate justice, which Carver discussed a bit about. So foundation of this research initiative at TU Hamburg, I believe it will enable us to capitalize on our strengths in engineering, in technology, and this will enable us to train a new generation of the engineers who will be basically able to serve at the forefront of the global effort to fight the climate change. And within this context, we have two, at least at the moment, in my opinion, we have two goals in this research initiative. The first one is to basically integrate the basic climate science and information in our engineering education. And the second one is to provide a platform where engineers, climate scientists, politicians, and people from industry and public can exchange tools, ideas, and skills. And this paper, in fact, it was published last night, just one day before the event, that is I am together with the other founding members of this research initiative, that is Professors Björn Stevens, Kaveh Madani, Jürgen Grabe, Michael Schluter, and Irina Smirnova, where we discussed more detail about climate-informed engineering and what do we mean by that and how we envision its development. So if you're interested, please do feel free to look for the paper. It's an open access paper. And by that, I would like to conclude my talk by acknowledgement. Of course, I had the privilege of having many meetings and discussion with colleagues, and especially the founding members of this research initiative, which I highly appreciate. And also, I would like to acknowledge the significant contribution of the members of the Institute of Geohydroinformatics, who basically helped us not only to develop the idea, but also enabled me to implement this idea. Thank you very much.